Hi, you guys. Welcome to the Real Life with Queen V show. Hope everyone's having a good evening, you guys. Today we have two dope special guests. Okay, you guys, I'm just going to dig right on in. One of them is a financial advisor. He's dropping jewels today, showing you why you idiots are why the idiots are rich and why you guys aren't. So he's going to definitely dig in and tell you why you guys are working 10 times harder, why we are working 10 times harder and we don't have the bag. You're going to tell us what we got to do. Okay. So make sure you have your pen and paper because I'm telling you, he is dropping the game for free. All right, you guys, let's welcome Marcus.
Hello, how's it going?
Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's
All
going on?
right.
What's going on? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How you been, Queen V?
Good. You?
Oh, I've been great. Yeah, I've been real good. So,
All right.
um,
So tell us how we're starting today.
all
Y'all know
right.
me
So
cool with
just
y'all.
wanted to. All right. So I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Marcus Reams. I'm a financial advisor. I've been a little bit a financial advisor now for probably 10 years, going on 10 years. And it's been a really long ride. Before that, I actually had a computer engineering company, and so starting a business, ending a business, and starting another one, and being successful at both of them, you end up picking up some very good principles along the way, as well as some very good hard learning experiences that you that you guys understand. So the first thing I want to start off at is before you can begin any of the nuts and bolts of anything, before you can begin talking about what you physically want to do, what you physically want to start your business, how you physically want to do it, you can't even get to that point if your mindset is wrong. If your mindset is incorrect, it's no point. We can do how tos all day, and if your mindset is hello, what's up, baby? If your mindset is not correct, you will never get anywhere.
So what's a correct mindset?
Okay, well, let me give you an example. This is exactly what happens with a lot of black people. Have you guys ever heard of the dog on the nail?
No.
Okay, so basically, there's
Oh,
a
I
dog.
think you told me about it. Yeah.
There's a dog, and the dog has this little part of the porch that he likes to sit on, and he sits there and he's real comfortable sitting on this part of the porch, and he sits there day in and day out. And after a while, the the porch starts to wear out, and after a while, a nail starts to poke out of the porch. And day in and day out, the dog continually goes and sits in his favorite spot. And so the dog is going, oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. And finally, the neighbors will go by and it says, wow, why does the dog keep going over there? And they say, well, it's his favorite spot. And month in, month in, year out, and then in our community, generation in, generation out, we continually go sit on that knob, that nail on that piece of wood. And you know what the conclusion was? That nail must not hurt bad enough. That's why we haven't moved.
So you think that people need to become homeless in order to want to be successful?
Well, I think I'm not saying homeless. I'm just simply saying if that nail hurts bad enough, you move. So let me ask you: if somebody put you underwater and you couldn't breathe, what will be the first thing you'd be trying to think about?
Learning how to swim for to swim.
You can't breathe. You'd be looking to get some air. You can't
Uh,
breathe, right? Are you thinking about partying, hanging out, what's
Oh
happening
no
next
no
week,
no no
what your friends doing? And when
no.
you get to the point where your mind, when you get to the point where your mind is, I want to be successful just like breathing like that, then you'll be successful. So
I get what you're saying. You coming
you
out
exactly you coming up out that
the
water. So the first thing that we have to do, and this is very difficult, is before, to get your mind right, you have to accept responsibility for yourself. You now in this conversation, guys, we're not talking about nobody else. We're talking about you and you. Okay, I'm not talking about the community, society, prejudice. I'm talking about you. You have to accept responsibility for you. You are where you are because of the decisions that you've made. And I need everybody to accept that, good, bad, or other. You have to accept that. You have to turn the mirror back on yourself and say, "Ah, man, I hate that, but man, I made that decision, so I got to eat it." You have to eat that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. And second, so second thing is you have to go and do you know your blessings never begin if you don't forgive?
Mm.
It's a spiritual law that if you don't forgive, your blessings never begin. Okay? You have to forgive all the people that put you at this moment. You actually physically go back and forgive everybody. You can't move forward and get your blessings if you're still holding on to what that person did to you. How can you move forward? You emotionally can't let that go. Okay?
Right.
Forgive your parents, your siblings, your spouse, your kids, your family. Let it go. Okay. I'm not saying be an idiot, but let it go. That grudge has to go. That grudge is, if anybody who's in the spiritual realm, it's called grieving the Holy Spirit, where somebody's trying to bless you, but you're blocking your own blessing because you're holding on to all of this anger and hurt. You're blocking your own blessing. And once you get to that point where you acknowledge where you're at and you forgive everybody, you're at zero now. Most people are at negative 200. They're not at zero. You can't emotionally begin to fix yourself to get to a successful level because you have not healed. And the healing part has to begin to get your mind in the game to even be successful.
Mm.
For you can't even you can't even do that. And then the second thing is, no, I should say the third thing is you have to get rid of the trash in your life. Okay? Trash. Total trash. There was a person I talked to the other day said, "Man, you know what? I had to get rid of the trash. I had to go get a gun because this trash was happening, all this crazy stuff." You have to let go of the junk. So everybody, if you guys got a piece of paper, draw 3 circles. You know how the Audi symbol is, how it has a circle, and a circle that's in the middle. Draw 3 circles, and one of them kind of connect the two. All right. The circle on the left, I want you to put the go getter group. That's your go getter group. The one in the middle, that's called the wishy washy group. The one on the far side, that's the toxic group. People on the go getter group, those are people who are trying to be where you want to be in life, whether that's financially, career wise. Of course, we all need money. So financially, if a person has more patience than you have, if a person raises his family better than you, if a person has the career you're looking for, if whatever that person is, those are the people in the go getter group where you spend 99% of your time. Okay. The wishy washy group is the people who aren't helping you and they're not hurting you. They're just there. I call them the club people, for example. When you want to go out and have a good time, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a good time, but they're not hurting you. They're not helping you. They're just there.
Right.
Okay. You can call them and say, "Hey, let's go have something to eat," and it just is what it is. Then you have the toxic group, and the toxic group hurts. Toxic group can be family. Toxic group can be parents. Toxic group can be anybody that is taking you away from where you're trying to be at all. It is in the toxic group. Once you're locked in, remember I told you when you're underwater and you're trying to breathe, okay, that toxic group is trying to dump more water on you and you're
Yeah.
trying to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. That go getter group is like, "Come on, you can do it." But the wishy washy group is like, "Come on, if you breathe, whatever, if you don't." But the go getter group is like, "Let me get a rope and pull you out that water. Let me swim out there and get you."
Yeah.
So you have to get rid of the trash. And I'm saying trash because, and I'm saying this controversially, because in being successful, you're going to lose a lot of friends. You're going to lose a lot of friends. Sometimes your circle going to be so small, you're going to be staring at yourself.
Huh. Speak. Okay, we have Jeff. He says, once something in your life begins to hurt you financially or emotionally, that's when people tend to fix it. Not all, but some.
Right.
Then we have I says I must be successful. I accept accountability. I respect myself. I expect responsibility. And then Tiffany says facts. Wavy Solo says talk that talk. That's a fact though. Go to move forward. Got to move forward. You look straight. Tony, hey sissy. And then Wavy Solo says you begin to bring peace within yourself. Gotta live up to your truth. They just saying just to say that they bring drama, hold you down, trauma and all facts. Hey Andy. Okay,
Hey,
just want to read the
so
comments.
the circle of influence, you guys, y'all got those 3 circles. The go-getter group, that's the group that if you catch me doing anything, I'm with my go-getter group.
Huh.
All right. All right, let me show you. If you don't have go-getters in your life, I'm gonna show you. Now, underneath the go-getter group, I want to tell you. Y'all want to know real quick how to meet some successful people, some millionaires? I'll show you how to meet some successful millionaires. First of all, dress like you've been somewhere before. Okay, I'm saying that not trying to be funny. Act like you know how to dress. I'm not. I'm not saying, hey Chantil. Oh, my
For
friends are
sure.
joining. What's up, Chantil? Uh, I got Chantil from Florida, Tiffany from
Hi.
Chicago, everybody, all my people from all over. So in order to meet some successful people, I'm gonna give you a tip. Go to the richest restaurant in your city. Very wealthy. There's a bunch of them. Go to a very wealthy restaurant. Very wealthy. Uber wealthy. And the first time you go, you're probably gonna be awkward. You're probably gonna be like, I don't, it's kind of weird, right? And go sit at the bar. Just go sit at the bar. Order some salad, coffee, something very basic. Make it like it's just a casual stop, right? Do you know? Okay, so this is a question for the whole group. Do you know what percentage of your income you are toward people who you hang out with the most? Your income, and I'll give you the answer. Your income is plus minus 10% of the people you hang out with the most.
Plus minus.
Did you get that?
Plus minus.
Plus minus 10%
Okay.
of the people you hang out with the most. So let me, why do you hang out with the people you hang out with? Because they shop where you shop, right? Because they
Right.
live in an area similar to yours, right?
Uh-huh.
Because they eat similar food, because they go to similar places, they drive similar cars, right? So if you stepped out of that and went to a place where an individual eats at better places, they drive better cars, they make better money, they do more successful things. Do you think some of that's not going to be imposed on you?
Yeah, for sure.
All of it. That's the go-getter group. That's that's the people who are either at where I'm at or they're where I need to be. That's
Mhm.
that group. And so you have to do another thing. And there's a principle. And I'm gonna say some very controversial things, and I'm not trying to knock nobody's beliefs. I'm not trying to knock nobody's churchy beliefs, whatever. But a churchy mindset, hey, thank you, Yoshi. The churchy mindset, and I'm saying churchy guys, and I'm not saying religious, I'm not saying spiritual, I said churchy. The
Mhm.
churchy mindset is in a lot of cases exactly backwards.
Mhm.
You have to you have to give to get.
Right.
That's wrong.
Right.
Oh wait, you have to get in order to give.
Facts. If I don't have it, I can't give it to you.
Right. And so let me tell you another principle. Another principle is by anybody, you have to secure your household. That's the number one principle for any head of household, male, female, whatever. You have to secure your household. So if
Mhm.
you haven't fulfilled that principle, you can't let nobody borrow no money. You don't have 3 to 6 months income in the bank. Who you letting borrow what?
Mhm.
So the more I get, the more I can give. If I just have a little bit and I see a homeless person, I get them a little cup of coffee, right? But if I got more and I feel a homeless person, I can build a whole homeless shelter. So the wealthy people have that get to give mindset. What they give from their little 15 to 20% in taxes is millions of dollars. What we give in our little 10 to 15% could be 10 to $15. Because so in order for me to give something substantial to you, I have to get it. Okay. And another principle, guys, I'm not pushing from the bottom, I'm pulling from the top when it comes to people. No matter, this is why the group is toxic. No matter how much you beg Ray Ray to get off his mama's couch, he is not gonna get off his mama's couch until he's ready to get off his mama's couch. All
Facts.
right. And when I'm pulling from the top, the people that want to get pulled make themselves seen at the top.
Huh.
Okay. And then you have to get to a certain point where you can help somebody else out. I can't reach back and keep pulling because it's never going to work. Additionally, the churchy mindset, being resistant to money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, it does. It's paper, ain't it? It does grow on trees. When they say, what's the other one that they use that really burns me up? Money is the root of all evil. And let me tell you what's so crazy about money is the root of all evil. Who thinks about money more?
Not Ray Ray.
I know, right? Who thinks about money more? Okay, let me challenge you guys. Who thinks about money more? The broke person who always has to count his money because he don't have enough to barely make it on his bills, struggling every month, or the dude that just got money and his bills is on autopilot and he just go
The
by
broke person, of course.
right. So who has more love for money? Who thinks about money? Who's always has money on the brain?
The
If you
broke.
had enough, you wouldn't have to ever be worried about money and thinking about it 24/7. And so who was robbing people for their money? The people that got a bunch of money or the people who broke and struggling?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The people who broke and struggling are the ones robbing, stealing, right? But if the
Yes,
person was
scamming.
successful and just had enough money, they wouldn't have to worry about it.
Right.
That
Agreed.
was money they would just have. Additionally, the churchy mindset, you have to get out of that situation. You have to let yourself go. I grew up in an environment where I was always being held back based on my beliefs. And the belief system in a lot of religious organizations is not one to say you can be as wealthy as you want to be and be as successful as you want to be. They put so many roadblocks for you mentally for you to have money. Oh, money is the root of all evil. Oh, don't be evil. Oh, when you get money, you better give it to the church. Oh, they put so many
Slips right through their fingers, sister.
right.
As soon as they get to it.
They put so many roadblocks in there for you to be successful. Yeah, exactly. Wealthy, rich, yeah, poor, right? So they put so many examples. So
The poor.
um, so now let me go into your mindset. Let me talk about your mindset. Um, mentally, you have to get yourself out of a low vibration situation. Okay. What is low vibration? Low vibration. Well, Tony, you guys, I mean, it's always 80-20 in any situation. Sorry, I went to answer that. It's always 80-20 in every situation. But let me give you guys another paradigm. If it wasn't for the wealthy people, you'd have nothing in life. The house you live in was built by a wealthy person. The road you drive on was built by a wealthy person. The mall you shop at, the store you shop at was built by a wealthy person. And so, yeah, we want to be them. Okay, and so you have to get rid of the low vibration mindset. Now, how many people have eaten a big meal and been asleep? Right? Is that high vibration,
No.
or is that I ate a whole bunch of junk that I shouldn't have ate and then I got sleep?
Yep.
All right. Do you know as a business owner you can't be sleepy?
You can't. Yeah, you
You
sure
can't.
can't. You sure
If you
can't.
want to be successful, you got to be willing to give up sleep. Sleep
Uh,
for what? What am I sleeping for? 50 Cent was doing his music he was doing his movie during the day and he was doing his soundtrack at night. And anybody knows how to do movie production and music, that is a day and night thing. He worked 16 to 18 hours a day for 6 months straight. And they said, 50, when do you sleep? We see you getting out of the studio at 10 p.m. and we see you finally going to sleep at 5 or 6. And at 10 a.m., you're right back working. He said, sleep? I don't sleep. Sleep is for people who are broke. I don't sleep. You got to be willing to give up sleep, y'all. You got to be willing to give up food. You got to be willing to give up your diet. You got to be willing to give up everything. You have to sell out to what you're trying to do. Your brain works on vibration. If you feeding your brain, okay, let me give you guys an example of what happens. Right now, Victoria, and everybody in here. You are Mercedes, Audi, BMW, McLaren, whatever your heart desire. You are that. That is you. You are the brand new 2024 Mercedes, $150,000, nice and oiled up, everything, right? That's you. You are the best. Okay. And then you ran right to the store to Dollar Tree and filled your car with Dollar Tree oil. And then you went right to the cheapest gas station that they got in the whole city, Ray Johnson's gas station. And you put
Horrible.
You put regular grade gas, not premium, just regular grade, whatever the cheap crap is, right? What's going to happen to that Mercedes?
Oh, it's gonna fuck up. It's over with.
Is it going to perform the way it's supposed to perform?
Oh no, you're right about this. Status symbols, but those don't matter. That's the trap.
Well, we're not talking about status symbols. I'm just simply saying you are the Mercedes. Your body is the Mercedes, y'all. But what we're doing is we're taking the Mercedes and putting Dollar Tree oil. We're putting, what if you go out and get the cheapest tires, some tires that don't even have no brand on it, and you put the cheapest gas in there, and you're like, man, this Mercedes sucks, right? That's what you're doing to your body, guys. You got to be willing to. Oh, it's all good. You gotta be willing to give. You gotta be willing to say, hey, you know what? I have to be on my best. It is lights, camera, action. I am my own company. Run your body like you're a corporation. Okay. When you run your body like you're a corporation, your diet has to follow. You have to perform. You sick, you got to perform. You sleepy, guess what? The best quality I have is being able to do a financial literacy budget, and I'm tired. On 2 hours of sleep, I can write up a literacy budget. Best quality I have. When I started my business, guys, I was sleeping in my car. I was sleeping in my office floor. Guess what? I still had to perform. I went to the gym, took a shower at the gym, went to the cleaners, got my clothes out the cleaners, and I looked like $1,000,000 in the office that day, knowing that I just got up off the sleeping in the office. Had nowhere to go. Okay, slept in the office, slept in my car. So you have to have a very get rich wealthy right now mindset. Right now, at this very moment. Do you know how many millionaires are made every day? Does anybody know how many millionaires are made every day?
How many?
13.
5? Every day?
13. Around the world a day. 13. Okay. And I'm saying million. I don't know if they're a millionaire. I just know they made $1 million or more or whatever, some form or fashion. They could have already been rich and made an additional million. But there's 13 people that are millionaires. 13. All you need to do is be your day. Okay. And another thing that you have to give, you have to fail forward. You have to constantly fail. You have to fail over and over again. Do you know how many times Albert Einstein tried to do the light bulb, or whoever did the light bulb? You know how many times they tried to do the light bulb? 96 times. He failed 95 of them.
Lord.
The problem is when we fail, we want to quit because that's what we're taught. You're taught, I failed, I gotta quit. Oh, it didn't work. Oh my God. Well, take what you learned, put it toward the next step, and try again. You fail forward. You fail your way to success, guys. Whatever your mind is, whatever your goal, your dream, your mindset, whatever it is, you have to fail forward. So moving on. Another thing is your brain is what's called a servo mechanism. Anybody who knows what a servo mechanism is, they know that is it's like a computer. I can't go up to a computer and say, hey, computer, type me a document. The computer won't do it, right? No. That's how your brain works. Your brain is, okay, what type of document? What would you like for me to put? What letters would you like for me to put? Your brain is very specific, and our goals are very general. We're not very specific with our goals. So let's say, for example, and I'll say Jones. I think Amir Jones is in here. Amir, you still with us? I just seen him commenting. So your goals. So you say, I want to open up a shoe store, right? I want to open up a shoe store. What type of shoes do you want to sell? I want to sell dress shoes. Okay, what brands do you want to sell? Okay, well, what type of store do you want? You'd be a storefront, standalone, department store? Okay, well, how do you want the store to be formatted? How do you want the store to be put together? Okay, well, how do you want so anyway, that's how your brain is working. And when you have it down to the level of ridiculousness, and I say ridiculousness, where you know exactly what you're supposed to do, then your brain registers. Your brain registers with that. It's no guesswork. But right now we're just saying, man, I want to be wealthy. Man, I just want to make some money.
Yeah.
Whew, man, I love to make some money. I sure want to make a lot of money. Whew. 7 years later, man, I can make some money. I just need to learn how to. So I
I got
tell
to
you
do
what,
something.
right?
Yeah.
We have not been, and I don't want to I don't want to put people down, but we have a disease called excusitis that we have. And excusitis is where um, a person doesn't put forth true effort to where they really want to be. They don't really want it. They don't want it as bad as everything else. They want to just
Skate through. Skate
kind
by.
of want it.
Yeah.
So if I said, who wants to be wealthy? Everybody put their hand up, right? And I said, who read one book on how to be wealthy? Libraries right there, guys. Every city has a library. Dallas area got how many libraries? Every community got another library.
They showed
If
it.
you want to know how to be wealthy, there's a whole money wealth section right there. And I know it worked for at least one person. All right. So let me ask you a question. If you were wealthy, would you be acting the way you acting right now? And you do that everywhere you go. If you were wealthy, would you be acting the way you act right now? People out here, and I'm digging deep, and I'm trying to be nice about it, so I'm watering my words down. So if you when you see people riding down the street, bumping their music and being loud and cussing and doing, if you were wealthy, would you be doing that?
Heck no.
Then why are you doing it? Do you know in order to be wealthy, you have to be there at least 10 times mentally? Additionally, I'm gonna give you another tip. If you drive your car 30 minutes a day, if you drive your car 30 minutes a day and you put on an audio book for your dreams, your wealth, and your goals, you know, after a year, that's equivalent to an associate's degree.
What?
30 minutes a day, guys. You don't have to read a book. You can listen to a book. Turn off the radio. They ain't doing nothing but hurting your ears with some. I was gonna say some they ain't doing nothing your ear, nothing but hurting your ears, but with some Pound Town or whatever the hell these people
Oh
be
yeah, I've
listening.
had to read it.
It's terrible. All right, so let me just give you that. So we have low vibration diet, low vibration friends, low vibration situation. We have to change all of that. All right, get rid of that. So now, does anybody knows what interdependency is? All right, everybody, if you got a piece of paper, I'm gonna break it down what interdependency is. You have independent and you have dependent. And in the middle is interdependency. All right. The people who are too independent struggle and are broke. Those are the people who think they can do everything on their own. I don't need no help. I mean, INDEPDE. Those are those people over here, right? And if you try to do everything on your own, you won't be successful. Then you have dependent over here. Those are the people that's totally leaning on everybody else for everything.
Man.
You know, the people that my mama, those are people sit at home with their mama. You know, those people that lean on their women, lean on this to do what they got to do. Interdependent is, hey, I can take tasks on my own, but I know that I need people to be successful. As an example, anybody that's been to New York, been to Rockefeller Plaza, it has the Rockefeller's name on it, but did Rockefeller build it? Did he go out there with the bricks and build it? Then why does he have his name on it? Because he put in place. Is there comments coming in? He put in place the um, the means for that to happen. So Bill Gates, for example, he's very much interdependent. Bill Gates is one of the best examples of interdependency. All right. Now that we got all the mindset, we got rid of the deadbeats, we got rid of the people that ain't nothing. We focused, we figured out what we want to do. Now we have to change how we do things. So unsuccessful people, and time is flying, it's already 40 after, good Lord. So unsuccessful people buy a bunch of things that they don't need to impress a bunch of people that they don't know or don't care about them or don't like them anyway.
But why is their mind frame like they feel like they need it? Like,
they feel like they need it because, and I'll give you an example. Some of the most successful people watch the least TV.
okay.
Some of the most successful people listen to the least radio. Why should they feed their mind on what the media tells them they should have? When have you ever seen a billionaire just walk around and say, Jay's on my feet? Jay's on my feet. Why?
Never.
Why? Some of the wealthiest people in Texas drive Ford trucks, Chevy trucks, regular pickups. They're out there just driving a truck. And so let me just tell you that then this is another nugget, you guys. Big nugget. Poor people, everything you buy loses value. Everything you buy loses value. Successful people, most of the stuff they buy gains value.
Yeah.
They got extra money, they invest it. They got extra money, they buy CDs and stocks and real estate and properties. And we go out and we buy a car. I got a brand new car. Oh, I got J's. All these clothes. Yeah. Everything. So at the end of the days, their money is constantly accumulating. Ours is constantly going downhill because we gotta be cool. We gotta be the big shot. We gotta be the whatever. We gotta be the big shot. Also, wealthy people, another nugget, they read daily, guys. They read. If you're not reading, you'll never be successful. If you're not
reading what?
Reading books to funnel your dream. Read books to help your mindset. Read books to help you get where you're trying to be. Like, for example, where is the book that it's right here, it's behind me. Sorry, it fell on the ground. That's the reason why I came up with this, because this is what this is based on. How come that idiot's rich and I'm not?
Because somebody tell me.
I read that whole book. And so wealthy people read, guys. If you're not reading, I don't know what you're doing with your life. And I'm talking about every day. Wealthy people also meditate and de-stress every day. Also, when it comes to cash, wealthy people know exactly where they are in the cash flow quadrant. Tell me what the cash flow quadrant is. You know? Do you know? Everybody, this is the cash flow quadrant. If you don't know, you need to memorize this. Memorize it. This is where majority of the people are.
Yeah.
This is the worst circle to be in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Employee, your time equals money. You're that most heavily taxed.
Yeah, I remember
all the taxes. If you don't show up for work,
you out of there.
You out of there. Then you have self-employed. Self-employed, they make less per hour than the working person. You know, an employee got to be there 8 hours. Self-employed got to be there if he owns a store or restaurant or something. He got to be there 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But he has flexibility. He can come and go as he pleases. Business owner, this guy right here, is like a franchise owner. McDonald's is franchise business owners. This is the guy that's out playing golf, guys, and his employees is busting their ass for him. He's playing golf. And all his employees, whether he shows up or not, sometimes he shows up, but whether he shows up or not, his employees is making all the money for him.
Yep.
And then when you get to the bottom part of the cash flow quadrant, you are an investor. When you're an investor, your money is just multiplying, and you don't have to do anything. You have several $100,000 in the bank, and it's just multiplying.
It's pretty cool.
So this is what happens, guys. This is the Black community in particular. We start off, whoops, I'm over here. We start off as an employee, and a few of us trickle into self-employed, and sometimes we bounce back and forth. Well, what I did is that little store didn't work, got a job. We never get on the other side, guys. Ever get on the other side. We never say business ownership or investors. Did everybody get this? Well, I'm going to take it down, but this is called the cash flow quadrant. This comes directly from Robert Kiyosaki, one of the richest people in the world. This is his exact thing. So when you understand that the employees is what they call the debt slaves, okay?
So what do you think the transition is to be able to get to that investor and be able to get to the part where their employees are working for you?
It's very easy. The first thing you have to do, like I said, the easiest way to save money is to make more money. The first thing is you have to be able to get to the point where society doesn't affect you. You buy what you want to buy. Right. Who cares what the brand names are? You stay within your budget. You stick to your budget. Whatever your budget is, I have a very hardcore budget. And I have a very, Victoria, I will sit here, and if I spend too much money on my budget, and I let you know some inside information today, and I will sit here and act like I don't have a dime to spend when all I did was go over budget. Plenty of money, but I just went over budget. You have to be able to do it. So another thing is when you have people who are in that mindset, they're in that high vibration mindset, and I know I got about 12 minutes. Man, time flies. When you're in that high vibration mindset, you meditate daily. You're always your eyes, your vision, guys, is things open up to you because you can see it now. You can't even see it if your eyes are looking at poorness, wealth, struggle, chaos. Right. So let me just give you an example. I could ride through the hood, the hood. I can go to Oak Cliff. Okay. Oak Cliff, that's my hood. I can go to Oak Cliff, right? And I can be riding through Oak Cliff, and all I see, the one person can see all these poor people struggling, not making a lot of money, really hurting, crackheads, everything, right? But guess what? Every one of those stores and that whole hood is. That's $1 million organization. So every single house, even if it's in the hood, is what worth 200,000-300,000. And every business,
bro, dropping jewels.
Even every single one of those places going through the hood, houses 300, business 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. And so as you go through that, you're like, man, I'm looking at $100 million in this neighborhood. As opposed to somebody saying, man, it's the project, man, it's the struggle, man. I can't, this is terrible, man. No, I'm looking at $100 million. Why do you think that the Asian people come to the hood and open up a storefront and we run in and buy all their hair and whatever product? They making millions of dollars off of us. That's $1 million business in the hood.
Yeah.
In the hood. All right. So I got about 10 more minutes. Anybody, if you guys got any questions, please start dropping them in. So real quick, Victoria, this is for you. How do you put an elephant in the refrigerator?
Oh, you can't. The elephant won't fit.
You want to know what a wealthy person would say?
You force it in there and you close it on. Cut the elephant up.
You put the elephant in the refrigerator and close the door.
Okay. Oh.
All right. Question number 2. Question number 2. And this is how a wealthy person thinks. Question number 2. How do you put a giraffe in the refrigerator?
You just open the refrigerator and close the door.
Excellent. But first you got to move the elephant because you just put them in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the Lion King is having a party, and every animal known to mankind is at that party. Every animal, if you're alive and breathing, on this earth, you are at that party. Insect, don't matter. You're at that party. But there's one animal that could not make it. What animal cannot make it?
I don't know.
You're going to kick yourself.
I don't know. The elephant, the giraffe.
The giraffe, because you just stuck them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
All right. So you are in front of a river. You are in front. Oh wait, oh, he's so silly. You're in front of a river, and this river has been known to have every creature that could kill you immediately. You're on the side of the river. You don't have a boat. You don't have a rope. You don't have anything. You got to get across right now. How do you get across?
I don't know how you get across. I'm just finished to go.
You swim across.
That's what I say. Swim. I'm just to go.
You swim, and guess what happens? Guess why you swim across?
Why?
Where are all the animals at?
Oh yeah, they're out there. Yeah. They're gonna be yeah. I like how it all goes together.
So what I'm saying to you is, although we live in the same world, we do not live in the same world.
Yeah.
Although, so let me tell you what unsuccessful people do. Unsuccessful people start the story all the way back from the beginning. Successful people will add on to the story.
Got it.
They never.
The other part, yeah. So they learn.
Another thing with your subconscious, guys, and I'm going deep real quick because I got a few more minutes. With your subconscious, you have three aspects to your consciousness. You have your conscious, which we're at now. You have your subconscious, and then you have a whiteboard. And I call it the whiteboard. And the whiteboard is a set of rules that your subconscious works off of. It's like a rule book. Like, okay, this happened. Oh, this is the rules. Okay, let's send it up. Okay. So your whiteboard, for example, I'll give you a prime example. Somebody walks up right now to somebody and punches them in the face. Just punches them in the face, right? That person can do several things, right? They can whoop their ass, right? They can call the police. They can walk away. Okay. But now, what determines that snap instant reaction? Because you have people that'll do all three.
Right. Yeah.
It's the rules. It's the set of rules. Some people walk into a room and they're quiet. Some people walk into a room and they're loud. But the whiteboard is the set of rules which your subconscious work off of, and your subconscious controls the conscious. Okay. So when you are wired to be poor and unsuccessful, your whiteboard needs to be erased and rewritten. Let me tell you how I know a person's whiteboard needs to be rewritten. If I said, Victoria, in the next 45 minutes, you'll be a millionaire. You know what just happened?
What happened?
Probably your brain told you all the reasons why that's not going to be the case.
Oh, for sure.
That's your whiteboard. That's sad.
So what do we put on the whiteboard?
When your whiteboard is like that, you have to be rewired. It takes all of the things that we talked about. If somebody says, I can be a millionaire in an hour, you have to be able to accept that energy, take it in, and believe it. It may not happen, but I have to believe and not resist it.
But you have to believe and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be to become. I mean, like, there's people that sit there and be like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. It's like, bro, you're sitting on the couch saying you're gonna be a millionaire. You're not.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a combination of all of them. Another thing that you have to be willing to get into the vibration. Let me tell you another thing. You have to stop lying to yourself. Exactly. You have to stop lying to yourself, guys. When you leave your house, what runs you? Ego. Ego. And when you're in your house and your bed at night, that's who you really are. And so, when you're laying in your bed and you're like, oh my God, and all your insecurities are there and you're all vulnerable and stuff, that's who you really are. But as soon as you leave your door, hey, what's up, y'all? That's ego. You have to be real with yourself. And you have to understand that you have to stop lying to yourself. Let me give you an example. How many times have you said you're going to do something, you never did it? I'm gonna clean the garage. Okay. Okay.
Like that day?
I'm saying in
Like
general.
ever.
Just
Okay,
just
yeah.
just take years of living and all of the things you said you were gonna do that you never did.
Be authentic. Being authentic is powerful. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All the things that you said you're gonna do and you never did.
Hmm.
And you get to the point where your own subconscious whiteboard everything knows that you're lying. And
Hmm.
it turns right around and says, yeah, right. You ain't
Right.
gonna do that.
Uh-huh.
And so it gets to the point, where, okay, sorry, I think I clicked on it. It gets to the point where your subconscious starts to not believe you. And the worst thing you could do is lie to you. The worst thing you can do is lie to you.
Which a lot of
And that's
people do.
you lie to yourself every day.
That's where that accountability comes into play.
Mhm. Another thing is that people that are successful are not late ever. That's in your control. You know that, right? Everything. I can't think of a person who is successful that is running late for anything. They're never late at all ever. So I want to tell you the brain waves, guys. I want you to guys, if you guys got time to go over this, if anybody that knows the different brain waves, delta, alpha, beta, lambda, gamma, hyper
Mhm.
gamma, you guys know the brain wave. The brain wave you need to be in to be successful is a gamma mindset. Gamma and above. There's gamma, hyper gamma, and lambda. You have to be in a gamma mindset. A gamma mindset is where your vibration stays high. And
Mhm.
when you put your binaural beats and your isotronic tones in your ear and you're listening to those and you practice being in a gamma mindset, your brain will actually speed up and it will actually allow you to be able to process things faster. Okay. So I meditate on gamma every night, put my headphones in.
For how
It's
long?
almost like, huh? Oh, I do it for an hour. It's almost like you got the sounds in your ear and it's putting your brain on a treadmill because it has to try to keep up with the vibration. And after a while, it's just like jogging. You get your wind, your brain gets stronger, your brain gets faster, your brain gets clearer. Second thing is, guys, a lot of times our feelings is what gets us in trouble.
Yes.
Do you know what feelings do? What are there for?
For what?
Feelings are only there to comfort you.
And they
That's the
really.
only job of feelings. Feelings are there to comfort you. Oh
Yeah.
wow, you didn't do it today. That's okay. You can just do it
Right.
tomorrow. You feel a certain, so you have to be at the point where you're willing to ignore your feelings.
Where do you find those wavelengths from? The gamma. Where do you find it? YouTube or you
You know,
ordered it?
I actually have find mine on YouTube, but I put gamma. So let me just tell you, gamma and hyper gamma and lambda are very focused. Like, so example, gamma is like a flashlight that's pointed to an area in the room.
Uh-huh.
So you're focused on that. Hyper gamma is a tighter flashlight. You're focused on a tighter area. Same amount of light, just focus on the tighter area. And then lambda, LAMBDA, that is laser focus. That is, you're so focused. Lambda is such a high frequency. It's to the point where if you ever in an emergency situation and time seems to move slow,
Uh-huh.
that's your fight or flight, because your brain is going that fast that it's moving faster than time.
Uh-huh.
That's why it's funny when you hear that. When you hear that,
Uh-huh.
that's actually that fight or flight. And your brain does that to help you react, even though things are going so fast. It does that to slow it down, so you still have time to react.
And you just
And
listen to these and you don't like, what do you think? Positive thoughts? You're meditating
you
while
don't
you're
think
doing this?
anything. What you try to do, any thought that comes in your brain, you try to dismiss it immediately.
Yeah.
So let me give you guys another tip from a spiritual note. This is just me, and then we have Miss Butler coming in right now in a second. Um, Another thing that happens is uh, we don't know how to quiet our brain because we don't meditate.
Mhm.
We could be getting all these messages from the spiritual realm.
Mhm.
You just can't hear them because you're screaming too loud. If your brain is always, it's almost like You're trying to hear a message, but you're screaming. So how can you hear it? That's how it is. If you don't meditate, and I'm saying when I put my headphones on and I throttle down, that's when I can hear. Okay. That's when I can hear. And it's a very spiritual thing.
Uh-huh.
So that's all the time I have. Hey guys, whoever's in here, Victoria, how many people we got in here?
We got right here 5 right now.
5. Okay. So anybody in here, please hit my Facebook page if you want to know. I didn't go over any nuts and bolts. I stuck with mindset today, because the mindset that we have, we can't even begin to even talk about, oh, here's how you do this if you have the wrong mindset. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, is our other guest in the waiting room?
Not yet. Not just yet. Shantae.
She's there? No?
Not yet. She's not yet just yet.
Okay. I'll go ahead and
we do have our special guest about to come in. Here she goes.
She's here?
Yeah, she just popped in.
Okay, good. Okay.
Right.
So
tell us a little bit about her before
let me just tell you who Shantae is. So me and Shantae grew up together. It was like we grew up. I mean, like grew up. We was in the same religion, same organization. We was in the same. We all outside of Chicago. Shantae is a very brilliant, very intelligent, beautiful Black woman who does real estate. She's a master real estate investor, and she does very well with high end clients all through the DFW area, Victoria. So she's in your hood. And so I think she's in the Arlington area, DeSoto, Arlington area. And so she has a lot of knowledge, and her angle will be financial literacy from the real estate end. Okay. So that's my intro. She's awesome. Thank you guys.
Let's bring her in.
Can you bring us both in there? There she go. All right. Hello.
Hi, Marcus. Hi, Queen V. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. How are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like Marcus said, we for sure grew up together, but in regards to my career, my background is actually in hospitality. I got my bachelor's degree in hospitality management, so I worked for a large chain for almost 20 years before I started my real estate business. So COVID happened, nothing was happening with hospitality. So it's like, well, what do you do?
Right.
And that's why you have your plan Bs, right? Because when it's time for your plan Bs to become your plan As.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what happened. So I started my real estate business about 3 years ago. Okay. Well, in October of this year, it'll be 4 years, and I just haven't looked back. Okay. I haven't looked back. So it's been it's a ride.
What made you choose real estate?
Well, I was actually starting to start my real estate business while I was working for the Marriott. And I was always interested in it in an aspect of investing, and I never liked renting. Like, I get it. Like, everybody has, a place, has to have a place to live and things like that. But even when I was younger, I never saw the benefits of renting. So I thought it was super cool to just be able to be in a space to help people to see the benefits of being a homeowner. Okay. And things like that, for sure. So, yeah.
Now, how long did it take you to get your license?
I'm a go-getter, so it didn't take me long. It didn't take me long. I went to class because there's so many different ways you can get your license. I had a neighbor down the street from me, and she was online. She got her real estate license from class to the test in about 2-3 months. Uh-huh. It took me longer than that. I'm also a classroom type person. So I like going into the classroom, and I like structure, because otherwise, if I have to do it on my own, I might start doing something else. Like,
me too.
getting on TikTok, putting stuff on the grill, having a drink. I don't know, but
No, for sure. For sure.
But I went to class, so I went to a junior college, and I took the classwork, I did the prereqs, and then a little bit after that, I took the test.
Okay. And did you pass it at one time, or did you have to do
I'm girl. I hated that test. It's two tests, it's a state and a national, and to be honest, I passed the hardest test, which was the national, and my first time I failed the state.
Yeah. Okay.
I failed it. But the second time I took it, I got it, and it was fine. I was so mad. I failed it by one question. I went in my car and I cried.
Of course. Oh my gosh. I know how that feels. That's how it was with me with the life insurance.
Yeah,
I know
but it
exactly.
doesn't matter. It just matters that you pass it,
Yeah,
and
now
then,
you hear me. That was it.
yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure.
So I got a
Okay.
question, Victoria. So
God.
Shante, in the current market, what is the biggest challenge in the real estate industry?
For me, I think the biggest challenge is the media. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, people listen to what the news is saying. They listen to what they're seeing on, social media and things like that. And sometimes that stuff just isn't true.
Hmm.
Interest rates are going crazy. Nobody's buying houses, and foreclosures are happening and starting, and all this stuff. And it's like, that's not even what's happening. And every area is different for sure. But I can only definitely talk to the Dallas Fort Worth area. And our area is booming. It's booming. I mean, people are still buying houses every day. Yes, have interest rates increased from where they were like a year or two ago? Yeah, they have, but they're still average. They're not insane and things like that. And working with a professional, they're able to help you to not concentrate on the negative things that you hear in the media,
Right.
but on, what's going to really help you to get into your home so you can start building wealth.
Okay. So once you graduated and got your license, how long did it take you before like you were confident enough to start like getting out there and selling these houses? Um, did it take you some time? Did you have to shadow anybody, or were you like, hit the ground running?
I kind of I think I got lucky. I'm gonna be honest. Before I got my license, I kind of had an idea of the brokerage that I wanted to join, which it was a broker who looked like me.
Uh-huh.
She was a mom, she was a wife, and she had her own business.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, she used to do stuff for the community, and I always seen her on social media, and I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Right. And so she was one of the brokers that I interviewed when I was deciding to choose a broker to work under, because you have to work under a broker when you're a real estate agent in Texas. So when I interviewed with her, and I was like, yeah, I remember I was in Miami, as a matter of fact. I was in Miami. But I was like, I need a break out of that test. But
I like it.
But I interviewed with her, and I told them I had a couple more people to interview, and the next day I called them and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start with you guys.
Uh-huh.
And probably like a couple days later, now I was talking to the recruiter. So a couple days later, the broker reached out to me. Her name's Tanika, and she was like, hey, I'm not sure, why, but something it has just led me to call you and wonder if you would be interested in joining my team. And I was like, okay, what's that involve? Like, but basically she would be my mentor.
Right. Okay.
And
Okay.
I would, yeah, it was the connect, like off top. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so I started working with the team and started training, and because what you learn in school is nothing like
What's
the
it
real,
like in the field?
nothing. I was like, They did not teach us this in class. That crap
Uh-huh.
they was, and then they have the nerve to say I failed.
Uh-huh.
No.
No, for real.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
no.
it has
I
nothing
understand
to do with
exactly what
it.
you mean.
But I say it's just a weed out process because
Mhm.
they put you through a lot of motions to see, like, do you really want this?
Yeah.
Like, let's see if you really want it. But so I started working with the team, and I want to say it probably took me. I started in October, and I probably had my first deal in December.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
in December. So I know that varies for people.
And
Like,
how did that make you feel?
I felt good. I felt great. Like, I
Uh,
was talking to people and, working with people and calling people. And, I had a team that was there to help me, to coach me through questions. I still do. I
uh-huh.
still have a team. And then I still have I have mentees that I do the same thing for. So
Uh-huh.
I'm able to help them so that they're confident because people don't know.
For
People
sure.
don't know. My first deal had no idea that I was that they were my first deal.
Yeah.
Like, they had no idea.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, okay. And so, what motivates you to keep going when times are hard? When it's like, okay, I didn't get this deal, it did fall through. What keeps you pushing?
I'm going to tell you, it wasn't last year, but the year before last, I probably had 8 deals fall through. When I calculated how the volume on those deals, it was a couple $1 million, right? I was like, that's a lot of money
Yeah.
for you to do all the work
Uh-huh.
and not get paid.
Right.
But so what keeps me going though, it's, when you do get the deals and you do help people get into their homes, like, you have people who they're like, I'm just calling because I kind of want to see if it's even possible. Like, some of these people don't even think it's possible to get started with
Uh-huh.
being a homeowner, and just being able to really get them through the process and get them into a home and for them to love it, that keeps me going.
What's the greatest response that you've ever gotten from somebody after you sold them a house?
That's a good one.
You know what? I think one of my favorite stories is one of my favorite stories, but just I had a lady and her 3 kids had moved here um, from another country. They've been in this country for 5 years,
Oh, dang.
from Africa. And the mom spoke no English, and the two younger kids spoke English, and then the young adult daughter was like broken English. And the high school daughter was like, my mom has always just wanted to own a home in America. And it's crazy because people come here and they realize the the gifts we have, right? And we take it for granted, but they're like, it's important to own a home. And we could do it. We could do it in America. She did it. She spoke no English.
Mhm.
She was working. So what did she do? She had a job that she had for at least those 5 years that she was here. She had made decent money. I was able to help them get a grant so that even though she had saved the money, she saved money, and she had money in her bank account, so she could have afforded the home on her own. But I still got her a grant
Yes.
so that she didn't have to use all of her funds. She got a brand new house. When I say brand new, they were so happy. Like, she would just hug me and she would just cry. And the coolest thing was when I first met with her and I talked to her about my strategy and what we're going to do, and her daughter translated it to her. She just cried and she was like, I trust you. I trust you to help me do it. And I tell you, it was a process because going through all that paperwork
I
and
was just about to ask you that. So how did you come up with the knowledge of how to, because they didn't teach you that in school. And you didn't
right.
just learn it overnight. How did you know, like, okay, this is where I go apply for the grant. If I do it like this, then we can get it like that. Because, not everybody can do that.
Yeah. Well, it's about real estate is a relationship building business.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't partner with people, if you can't connect with people, I don't know how people do it if they don't.
Uh-huh.
Because like Marcus was saying, you are not just an individual in this and some people are.
Uh-huh.
But where I'm going to go with my business and where I'm going with my business, it's a community type thing. I need other people to do some of this stuff. So no, it's about partnerships. I had a lender, which I still work with right now, and he just keeps me in the loop
Uh-huh.
with things that's happening right now. There's grants happening in Fort Worth, in Dallas, in different counties. So I have other people kind of keeping me in the loop so that I can provide the best service to my clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
What
perfect.
when you're grinding, what are your typical hours when you are grinding?
Don't ask me no craziness. No, it depends. It depends, right? It really depends because we do have the flexibility to work when we want to. And I'm a free spirit, y'all. I am a free spirit, and so that is my struggle, so to speak, because it's hard for me to have structure.
Mhm.
But because I am a business owner, I have to have structure, right? And I just get to control what that looks like. So for me, some days it's crazy. Some days it's like Marcus was saying, it's for real, team no sleep. But I gotta pretend like I slept because don't nobody want to walk around looking at houses with somebody that look like a zombie.
Man. Right. No, for sure.
But I just I typically my typical day really is I wake up about 5 and I read my scriptures, I meditate, I visualize. Those are some things that I do every morning. While I'm getting dressed, I do listen to motivational things that kind of keep me in the groove. And then I get started with my day about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I tell people, honestly, my people hours are 9 to 9. That sounds crazy, but I have a daughter.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm a mom. And so I do make sure that because balance is important. So I do make sure I have time for her and things like that. So it's cool that I can kind of go in and out of my business.
Right.
If I need to.
Right. Okay. All right. So she's like kind of like one of your whys as well that keeps you going and
Oh
pushing.
my gosh, she's not just her, my whole family.
Uh-huh.
My whole family is my why. It's so crazy because I'm the oldest of 6 kids. And we lived in a 3-bedroom house growing up. And it was 6 kids and my mama and my daddy. We pretty much just slept on top of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Right?
there was a person on a 10 speed that would occasionally pop up over there and say hi. That was me on my little 10 speed.
Yeah. Yep. So I it's funny because now my parents are getting older and I know that it's important for us to take care of my parents.
Yeah.
Like when they get older, I tell my mom all the time, like I'm working the way I work because I'm gonna build my house, and when I build my house, I'm in the back. It'll be a pool for my daughter, and then behind that, I'm gonna have a little duplex for my mom and my dad
Yeah.
to live next door to each other. And so I can kind of be close to them, but they ain't in my house. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
do it for my family. I do it for my daughter, but I do it for my community too, because we need to be educated on why it's important to be homeowners. And we need to know that it is possible for us to do it. No matter where you are in life right now, you can do it. And if you can't do it now, it's possible for you to do it in the future, but you just gotta kind of have somebody to help you to get there sometimes.
For sure, for sure.
Do you plan on
Okay.
having an agency where you have other realtors working underneath you?
Yes.
I do. So I have a team right now. It's the Butler Realty Group. Um,
Okay.
right. But I can get my broker's license in October of this year because it'll be 4 years. You have to be an active agent for 4 years in Texas before you can get your broker license.
Yes.
So
That's huge, guys. I don't know if you know, that is huge.
Yes, I was reading
That's
funny.
millionaire Shantae right there.
So that's my plan, right? That's my plan. I love the fact that Tanika was able to take me under her wing and show me the ropes, and not just me. She does that for a lot of realtors, and just to help them to see the right way to go. And I want to do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. So would you put them through school or show them how to get through school, or do you guys would, or is it something like they have to come with their license already?
You'll have to have your license already.
Okay.
Yeah, I need you to go through you're gonna have to do some, you gotta do some of the hard part. Do that hard part first.
First, yes. So how much was it for you to be able to go? How much is it? If people
You know what? It's not expensive. I've seen classes anywhere from like $600.
not bad at all.
That's not. It's not expensive. I went to, like I said, I went to TCC, so
Okay.
that was a little bit more expensive, but not even. It was like $1,000.
Oh, that's not bad at all. So you think it's a good investment to have?
Are you kidding me? I It's funny because I started off saying I got my bachelor's degree in hospitality and I worked for the Marriott for 20 years, for almost 20 years, for 17 years.
Like how you the transition.
I've made more money in real estate in the 3 years that I've worked for than I probably worked in the whole 17 years of working for the Marriott. So yes, I think it's a great investment for sure.
Okay.
You decide how much money you want to make, and you decide, how hard you want to grind.
Now, have you ever had like an upset customer, like somebody like you worked with and they just didn't like the way things turned out? They talked kind of reckless to you. How did that make you feel? How did you handle the situation?
That's another. I can be real with y'all.
For sure.
I looked at man. Carry on.
No, but I have like I like and not often, but I love the fact that I do get to choose my clients. I get to choose my clients, but sometimes clients feel like they're the experts. I had this one, it was the weirdest thing, but I had one lady and she was helping her boyfriend find his home. But she was really looking for the house, right? Which happens, and that's fine. But she was just, obviously she was the expert because everything that I said, she was like, "No, I don't know about this and this and that." But you've never even bought a house before. You know what I mean? And that's okay because you're gonna have those people that are in your ear and stuff like that. It was just super weird. It was super weird. We had went under contract with the home and they decided during the option period, which is the period that they can terminate the agreement for any reason, that they weren't going to move forward, which is fine. But you still have to pay your earnest money and your option fee during that time. Yes, you'll get your earnest money back, but of course you lose your option fee because your option fee, you pay for that to be able to terminate an agreement. But she was upset because I told her she'd still have to pay the earnest money, and she was yelling and cursing, and I was just like, this lady is really crazy, because I almost got out of my element, right? But I'm really good at not letting people push me, take me there. So I just say, the best thing I think for us to do. I'll figure out this whole earnest money situation, but I think the best thing for us to do would be for you to find another realtor to
For
work
sure.
with.
For sure.
And and just good luck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'll keep you posted when you get your money back, and you can just email me from now on.
Any other issues with another realtor?
Not so much realtors. I think maybe one time I had an issue when I first started with a broker. And I think that was really because I was kind of new. And so he was trying to like play me a little bit, like
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, type of deal. But like I said, I had a team. So you can't, you weren't going to be able to get over on me or anything like that. But we were able to figure things out. Like, I mean, like in any business, everybody's not equal.
Right.
Right? I mean, you're going to have some people who have really great ethics, and then you're going to have some people whose ethics aren't that great.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just have to navigate through that, just like you navigate through it in life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I don't get too crazy with people. Like, and people, I don't let people get too crazy around me either. I'll shut it down.
Man. Do you have it to where people are like want to see the house and then you're like you set the appointment and you show up and then like they don't show up, they don't answer the phone. It's like you wasted your time going to do this and gas.
That used to happen to me, before I really vetted them.
Uh-huh.
But now I know how to kind of vet people a bit more um, to make sure like I'm not wasting my time. I don't waste my time these days.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get there? Like, how did you end up transitioning into being like, okay, you're wasting my time. Now I know you're not wasting my time just for the experience.
It took me a minute because I'm hungry. I'm still hungry.
Right.
Right. So when you get somebody saying, "Ooh, I want to look at a house and this and that," and I'm not sure if I'm pre-approved, but I want to see it and I love it. You get excited. You're like, "Okay, let's do it. Like, what time do you have available?" But I've learned to slow down. So it probably probably took me about a year because I'm hard headed.
What's your birthday?
February 7th.
February 7th. Okay.
Why?
I was wondering what your sign was.
I'm Aquarius.
Yeah.
What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay. What sign did you think I was?
A Virgo.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What's the most expensive house that someone has looked at or that you may have sold with you?
I haven't gotten crazy expensive. A little over $1 million.
That's not crazy expensive.
I
Okay.
mean, it's some people out here who be selling like I'm telling you, I'm going to a broker's open later this month, and they're having a crab boil, and the house is $15 million.
Yeah. I'll just put cash on it.
How does that make you feel like then when you walk in the house? I know the house is going to be super beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They're gorgeous. That house was really nice. It was on 5 acres of land. Of course, they had a pool.
Of course.
And the bedrooms were just exquisite. I think I was like, are there video cameras in here? Because I'm just about to like hang out and to take some videos and get some social media pics and stuff. So
For sure.
pretend like it's my house.
Uh-huh.
Are you ever intimidated in your field?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, am I though? No, I'm just playing.
It's like you own it, but it's like you can't, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe a little bit. You get the jitters and things like that, but it's like when it comes down to it, we all people. We're all people, and I feel like I'm pretty down to earth where I can get along with different types of people, right? So whether you're looking at a house that's a condo for $150,000 or you're looking at $1 million home, I could, I'll be able to vibe with you.
So with you being a real estate agent, what do you think about the investing like in Airbnbs?
Oh, you know what? I have a few people looking for Airbnbs, but in Dallas, they made it really hard for people to like purchase properties for short-term rentals
Mhm,
in some Dallas areas.
mhm.
Okay. So I think it's a great idea. It's just you just gotta find the
Where?
right place, like anything else. You gotta find the right place and make it make sense. I did just look at a condo yesterday that was an Airbnb,
Okay.
and they were selling it, and I just was like, okay, this is super cool. Like it was near UTD, so it was near college, but it
Uh-huh.
was near other stuff, a lot of other conveniences and things like that, so it was really a perfect location.
Okay. To sell houses out of state, like, so say you go to New York and you want to sell houses, do you have to go get your license for that state?
You do.
Take
You
a
do.
note, another test too?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So Texas does not have any reciprocity with any other states,
Okay.
which means if you get your license with in the state of Texas, it's just for the state of Texas.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So like states like Illinois has reciprocity with other states. Illinois has reciprocity with Indiana. I think they may have reciprocity with Florida and even Georgia.
Okay.
So if you get your license in any four of those states, then you don't have to take the whole test over, but it's almost like a shortened version of
Okay.
things that you need to do.
Because you can't help somebody like if they're in Texas or DFW, but they want to move to Georgia. Like you wouldn't be able to help them, right? Okay.
No, so the way that I am able to help them is I'll refer them
Okay.
to a reputable agent in the area.
And then do you get like a referring bone? Okay.
I'll get a referral fee
Okay.
for doing that.
Okay.
Once they close.
Okay. And how long does it take to close?
So typically it takes about 30 days to close.
Okay.
But of course, you have your exceptions. Um, there's some people who can close in like 2 weeks, especially if you're paying cash. You can close in 10 days.
Hmm.
But then there's sometimes it takes 45 days, just, in case you got some other things going on.
And is there any time between that time that they cannot withdraw? Like you're stuck in this. You already said yes. You're in there.
So I think that's why it's important for um, especially buyers to have like representation from an agent, because there's different ways that you can terminate an agreement.
Hmm.
But if you don't know, then you don't know. But your
Right.
agent should know. So yes, it's during those 30 days, there are different ways and different times that you can terminate the agreement and still get your earnest money back.
Okay. Okay.
hmm
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh my gosh. In 5 years, I want to say for sure, a multi-millionaire real estate agent, right?
Mhm.
In 5 years.
Uh,
Yeah, that house that I was talking about,
yeah.
yeah, it'll be built
Uh-huh. Okay.
then for sure. Um, Look, married with another
Uh,
dog. No.
Don't we all want that, right? Mansion, married, money just falling out of our pockets as we
You
walk
said with
down the
another
road.
daughter though, right?
I have a daughter.
But did you say with another daughter?
I said no, I said another dog.
Oh, okay. He's we all have that. Like, wait, Marcus, you want another kid too? Okay. Do that.
Oh man, oh shoot! Look, you saw the sweat beads fall. I'm another, like another, and then another one. Ooh, Lord,
Oh no,
She-
another doggy. I'll
she's
get it.
11, and got 7 more years. So
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, so what because we got some I don't know how many viewers we have, Victoria, but a lot of our viewers may not be homeowners. So can you give us the outline and guys take notes because Shantae is awesome. She's an expert.
Yes.
But can you give us the outline as to the steps of let's say somebody's living in an apartment somewhere and they're like, man, I think I want a home. Can you give me
Yeah.
step by step?
Yeah. There's a few things that I suggest people to do. I suggest people to really talk to lenders and real estate agents and interview them. Like, talk to them about, hey, well, for sure, for lenders, I would talk to lenders who can do a soft pull on your credit, so they can give you an idea of, if you're ready to purchase your house now, what does that look like? But it doesn't affect your credit score.
Mhm.
They can do that for you. Or they can say, hey, you're not ready right now, but if you do X, Y, and Z, you'll be ready in 6 months, you'll be ready in a year, you'll be ready in 2 years.
Mhm.
Can give you a plan.
Okay.
But and I say that's the first thing that I tell people to do, because people really do, they don't know where to start. And so when they get out here, or talk to a real estate agent, right? You want to talk to a real estate agent, because a good real estate agent is going to direct you to a lender and
Right.
be able to partner you with a lender, so that you'll know realistically what you're working with, or what you need to do in order to get into your home.
Right.
Um, but after you do that, I mean, for sure, you want to have an idea of what your credit scores are. And you can get access to each one of your credit reports every year for free, right?
Hmm.
But then there's so many different programs where they can kind of give you an idea of what your credit score is. Now, some of those websites and things like that, they're not as accurate,
Vantage
but
scores or whatever.
yeah, like Credit Karma and stuff, usually they're not as accurate. So you can directly go to the companies, the Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, get your credit reports every year. You can do that. You can get that for free.
So the credit scores is above, I think, let's say credit score 700, I guess whatever the minimum threshold, credit scores above the minimum threshold. What's the next step?
And I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to credit scores, because
Sorry.
sometimes there's really not a minimum per se. There's so many programs out here that that's why you have to talk to the experts first, because people think, oh my gosh, I need my credit score to be like 800 or 740 or 680. And there's people out here getting homes with 500 credit scores. So we look at, or lenders look at the middle number. So if you're at a 630, 700, 800, they're going to take that 700 score and they're going to base everything off that score. But there's really, I don't want to say there's no minimum. The better your credit score, the better your interest rate.
Yeah.
But there are programs out here where if you have a 580 credit score, you can get qualify for a home loan. So after you do that,
That's why.
you want to make sure that you have some money.
You get to put the down payment down, right? Yeah.
You
So
need to
those
have,
$0 down programs, those don't
there
work in
are.
most cases.
There are. And I use them. And to be honest, most of the people I use $0 0% down payment programs for, they got mad money in the bank. Honestly, they already have money in the bank, and then they're just going to keep more money and get them a house and build them some more wealth. Like, that's just what happens. But I don't think we know about these programs. So then we're like, hey, you need some money. You don't need a lot of, sometimes you don't need a lot of money. I have a lady I'm closing Friday. She's bringing what, $1,500 to the table, right?
Mhm.
So but that doesn't mean that's all the money she got.
Right. That's all she has got to bring.
That's all she has to bring to the table. But I mean, you have to have some money. For
Uh-huh.
FHA, like FHA loans, you need to have 3.5% of the sales price of the home for down payment.
I
But
have
there's
She says, I have a program, or here she says, I have a program for the people that don't have the money to get their down payment and closing costs taken care of. What?
Yeah. There's plenty. So you just gotta connect with the people who are gonna be able to get you to get you into your home.
Huh.
A Facebook user, go ahead and put that link in the comment or something so we can find who you are.
Yeah, like, are you a lender or you? And if you are, like, what company do you work with? And what's the name of that program? Send me a number.
That was dope, for sure.
I'm all about connecting with people to help my people, but I have like crazy programs. I just connected with the lender who has a program to where our clients can use social media to get donations for their closing costs. And the closing costs do not have to, because typically if you get gifts, you have to be able to allocate where the funds come from. But if you use this type of program, they don't have to allocate where the funds are coming from, and there's no maximum amount. So, I mean, people have gotten like 50 grand for their home, and then they just use it for closing costs, down payment, buy down their rate. They'll make their principal smaller. It's so many things out there
that they made it possible for people to be able to buy houses.
Yeah,
They don't know
that they don't know.
that they have to have like $10,000 and $15,000 to come put down.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Do I have to have that 20?" Because you keep hearing like, "Oh, my credit score needs to be in the 700s, and I have to have 20% down."
Right, and you have to have like money in the bank account for them to see how much you made or something.
Yeah, and that's not all the way true. That's not all the way true. There's some programs out there where you can pay as little as 3%. You can get gift funds. You can get grants. There's lenders who are offering programs to help you to match funds that are coming for a down payment.
That's
So
dope.
there's options.
They said we help with the we help with the solar. They own their electricity and get 30% tax credit, adds instant additional equity to their home.
Yep. That's cool. That's super
Yeah,
cool.
that's super cool. So you're like selling into
Mm-hmm.
So Shantae, there was a home that I just looked at over by Grapevine Mills. We're gonna have to talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, I was over by Grapevine Mills, and that wasn't a home, that was a crib. And I said, oh.
Nice. They have a lot of gorgeous homes over there in Grapevine.
Right as I was going to, right, as a matter of fact, it was not too far from the airport on Grapevine Mills, and I said, okay, that could be because I'm in Dallas too much as it is, that could be a home number 3.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Well, you know a realtor, so.
For sure. I love the I love Shantae. Yeah.
Hey, that's Miss Maria
Really group
from Chicago. Thanks for your
all
support.
right. Shot time. So Shantae, do you have a volume? I know income wise you have an income, but do you have a volume goal as well? I want to sell X amount of homes per month, per year, per hour, per day.
Right. No, for this year, I do have a volume goal. It's 15 million for this year.
Okay. What was your last year's goal?
My last year's goal was 5.
Last year's goal was to put food on the table and survive. I'm just joking. So to get to where you want to be, your end game, where do you have to be to hit your end game where you can get the guest houses and all of that? Where does your volume have to be there?
So I think I talked about it a little bit earlier when I talked about like building my brokerage, right? And really helping some other people to start their business and then to get into real estate that way. But that's probably my main thing, right? And I want to say, what do you call it? It was on the tip of my tongue. just to continue building my business, right, and make it duplicatable. That's not a word.
Duplicable. That's okay. We know what you meant. We know what you meant. We know what
That's
you
not a
meant.
word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, just so that other people can do it and kind of build a community around that for sure.
So you know what, Shantae, when you go from being the realtor and the self-employed, and then you go to being the broker, you're the business owner now. You slap
Hmm.
from the S to the B, and your money
You can be
doubles,
an
at
investor.
least doubles. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. And you send all them little minions out to go sell your home for them, like bye, go sell.
How do you feel like ever like owning like a apartment complex or like condos where you rent out? Have you ever thought?
Yeah, you know what? Right now I have a girlfriend that we're starting to look at fix and flips.
Okay,
So we'll probably start doing that uh, third quarter.
okay, okay,
But I'm from Chicago, and so
okay.
I almost say I was from the hood, but I'm kind of from the hood. I'm from the hood, right? And so when I come here and I look and I see like people, there's a lot of people with housing vouchers here.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of landlords and property managers, they don't really like to deal with housing vouchers. I think and it's not I think, what I'm going to start doing is purchasing homes and particularly renting them out to people with housing vouchers. So that's
Yeah,
definitely what
I
my,
like it.
yeah,
Okay, for
yeah.
sure, for sure, for sure. I definitely like that.
You weren't from the hood. It was just a little urban.
It was hood. No,
So how was the transition out here?
hard.
What made you come out here?
Family.
Okay.
So my brother had lived out here for probably like almost 10 years before I moved out here. But I was going through a divorce. And so I just needed a new environment.
Uh-huh.
And so my brother, he had been saying, you guys should move out here. And we were planning on, when I was married, I was planning on moving here. But then we got divorced and I was like, you know what?
I'm moving.
I'm still gonna move.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Just let it. Pat your
Yeah.
back. Thumbs up on faith. I like it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And ain't looked back since.
Man.
No,
No.
let me tell you,
What
and I'm gonna give Shantae a compliment. Ever since you could respect, and Victoria yourself too, you can respect the independent woman standing on her own 2 feet, making things happen. And I will say that even though I lost my Marriott discount,
I know, right?
I was like, no, you don't work there no more. But no,
she was giving nice discounts. I know what you
Yeah, you
mean.
sound like Marcus, you sound like my family. My sisters, they're like, you don't think about just going back part-time? No.
I used to go up there, show them that little piece of paper. Nope, nope, knock it off. Take
Did
that
you
price
get to
down.
get so were your hotels super, super, super cheap for you?
Yeah, like we would discounts for my friends and my family. I mean, I'm talking about probably like 50, 60 bucks a night. And these aren't like rinky dink hotels. They're like 4-star hotels. Maybe for the 5 stars, it will probably cost like 100, 100, maybe
Can
a
I give
little
you an
over 100.
example? Victoria, the Westin in the Galleria, the one, I stayed there for 139 a night. And a
Where?
few
Oh my
and
gosh.
a few years down the road when I went there and paid 265, I was like, wait, this is different.
You probably
So,
had some people at the hotel that were just living in the hotels and just staying there because
dude,
their
really?
discounts were just so freaking amazing. $50?
I know the people who live on cruise ships because it's cheaper than rent, but
Yeah.
I don't know about I know about the hotels. But yeah, Shantae had the hookup. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you, y'all doing your thing.
Thank you.
I've been a business owner, forever. I don't know what it is to like have a job. I picked up jobs along the way to supplement my business where things were tight, but I don't know like that as a primary source of income. So is very good. She jumped in the real estate game. She ain't sent me no clients to get, life insurance to protect their house. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Oh, I got you. I got
Yeah, I got you. So, before we get out of here, tell what do you have? What's a word for anybody that's wanting to get into real estate, or they already are just got their license and they're looking to get their feet wet, and they're like, "Look, this may not be for me."
You know what? It's a service. Like I said, it's a service business, and it's a relationship business. It's it's about helping people. Like everybody's gonna have their own reason why. Most people, it's good money. Like don't get me wrong, it is amazing money, but you're gonna work for every red cent.
Man, every red cent.
Like know that.
Uh-huh.
Know that you're gonna work for it. But it's so worth it because the benefits of like really whether it's an investor, I mean like even helping investors like find more properties, fix and flip them and get a family into the home, like you're a part of such an amazing opportunity that we have here in America.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it's not the only way you build wealth, but it's for sure um, one of the best ways
Okay,
to do
for
it.
sure.
So yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna have your ups and downs, but it's so doable, and it's worth it.
All right. Name one really bad real estate mistake you made. Confess.
Yes, tell us.
Tell us when you messed up and you may have had to drive back across town because you I don't know anything. Tell us when you messed up.
Look, I believe in failing forward. No. um, I'm gonna tell you guys, and I don't even because I don't look at like my mistakes as like, oh my gosh, that was terrible. I'm always like, well, what can I learn from this?
Mhm.
Right? And move forward from it. But I'm gonna tell you, I talk about how I started with Tanika, and I actually left her brokerage a little bit ago. I left it last year for like 5 months and I went to a big box broker. Like, one, I'm not going to say the name of, but it don't matter. Remax. I left and I went to Remax. They're all independently owned anyway. But, and that was, it was not a good move. Technically, it was not a good move because, I didn't like it there. And all the reasons why I never wanted to work under a big box brokerage was true. And so I don't know why I'm real hard headed. I'm one of them people like, well, let me feel it to make sure it's hot. Oh yeah, dang, it is hot, right? So I came back to um the brokerage that I'm with is TD Realty. So I came back, but some of the things that I learned when I switched brokerages, um, was for one, like not all brokerages are equal either. But it really helped me to see how important it is to network and to build community within our communities and to just really see what other realtors were doing in the urban areas to help people get into their homes. And so that was something I was able to take away and use it, even though now my brokerage is back kind of like in the suburbs,
Uh-huh.
but I'm always in the city. I'm in Dallas, like trying to get people. You talk about Oak Cliff. I love Oak Cliff. I'm in Oak Cliff.
That's my hood.
I'm in Oak Cliff and we're buying and we're selling homes out there and we're helping people keep their homes and figuring those types
Good.
of things out and all
You
that
up on
good stuff.
foreclosed homes, like homes that are about to be foreclosed. People
Yeah,
trying to
and
get homes.
yeah, because unfortunately what happens, right? Gentrification happens and now grandma's house is paid off, but they can't afford the taxes because the taxes have increased
Mhm.
so much because you have all of these gorgeous, huge homes that are built around it that's increased the tax value. So how do you kind of help those people to navigate and keep grandma's house?
Do you guys, are there grants for them?
There's options for them. there's definitely options for them in regards to different loan options, taking the equity out of the home, and maybe even using that to, pay the taxes and things like that. So it's just helping them to educating them on their options, because sometimes they just don't know and they throw their hands up. But no, you can't just throw your hands up. There's some other things that you can do so that you don't have to get rid of it, or let somebody come and take it, because that's usually what happens, right? It forecloses and then someone comes and takes it, they get it for cheap, and then they build a $500,000 house on that lot.
Right, for sure. Most definitely. Most definitely. All right.
Shantae,
Yes.
everybody, get your piece of paper out. How do you get in contact with Shantae?
For sure.
Cool. Well, my phone number is, I'll give you my phone number. It's 972-827-8177.
And you have an email you want to give to or no?
I do. My email complicated. My email is sbutler it's my first name. So SHAUNTA-butler.com.
I love
All
it.
right. S Butler at Shantae-butler.com. That wasn't that complicated. That wasn't that complicated, though. Hey, but you know what? Support her, y'all. Support her, support me, support Black businesses. We can write out a financial budgetary plan and slide you over there to buy that home for her, or she can buy the home and slide her to write out your budget afterwards. It don't matter. Either way. Either way. Either way.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Queen V.
No, you're welcome. It was a pleasure. We'll definitely be in touch because like you got all the skills. You got all the
you're so
skills.
sweet.
Look at
Thank
you.
you.
So, and I hope it gave it ease to everyone who felt like buying a home. You had to have such like this big old down payment that there's ways to get you to your dream home, and you don't have to think about like you have to work 70 jobs to get there.
Because I had to put 20. I put 20% down. I'd say I have to. I was like, man, I could have put that money.
Yeah, you didn't have to, buddy.
Yeah, you should have went through Shantae.
And then I bought down my rate, but I got in right before it went to the moon too. So I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
He said right before it went to the moon.
What's the moon?
Well, I mean, I know some people buying homes at 7% and 8%, and mine is at 3.5% because I bought my rate down. So
yeah,
I'm
going to tell you, I have some people who, like I said, I'm closing on now, and they're in the 5s. So and some of them, their credit score is their average. They're in 600s. So it just depends. Like, and 5s aren't bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my 4 something. We'll see if we can make that work.
I was just about to ask that. I was like, so what are 400s? Just because you say 5s are not bad. I was just about marking to like, what is 400 then?
4s is a plan.
4s is a plan. 4 is a plan. She said that very confident. It's gonna be okay. But
4 is you gotta write that out. We're gonna fix that for you. We're gonna get that plan worked out.
Well, all right, you guys. Well, it's definitely a pleasure of having both of you guys, and thank you so much, Shantae, for coming by and dropping jewels.
Thanks for having me.
It. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's margarita time, guys.
Yes.
So sure.
Margaritas and karaoke for a couple hours, and that's where I'm going. And go do some karaoke. I had a great day. I closed a $13 million policy, so I need to go celebrate.
Oh, you sure
should. Congratulations.
Let's go.
All right,
you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You see, they were dropping jewels. Hopefully, you were writing them down because the game is to be sold, not told. And once again, they were dropping jewels. Yes, I have my paper and pen. I want to play that games. Okay, anyways, but for me, it's time for me to go. You know what I'm saying? No, turning up on the show was really great. You're supposed to dress like how you want to be successful. You know what I'm saying? But, my shows are also, so I got to go, off camera. Anyways, you guys, Next Wednesday, I do have two dope special guests. One is a financial advisor. She does taxes. She's an accountant. I mean, she does everything. She, the Marcus we just had on, she's like a female version of Marcus. Her name is Andy. She is so beautiful. I cannot wait till you guys meet her. She's like so dope. She does like everything. And then we have an awesome gentleman. You guys, he is like everywhere when it comes to music, like acting, writing, producing. He's been on, at the radio station. He does everyone in the DFW. He actually started his own agency where he puts together plays and musicals. I mean, the man is just amazing. Like I've looked at everything and I'm just like, oh my God. Like I'm even like, can I try out for the plays? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you guys, so definitely tune in with me next Wednesday at 8 p.m. It's definitely going up and it's stuck. And don't forget your cup. I'm so excited. The cup. We get to have the cup next week. I'm not an Aki, just the cup makes it exciting. You know what I'm saying? I still have my cup. Anyways, you guys. Gotta go. See you next Wednesday. Don't forget, positive vibes only. You can and you will. Stick to the goals. It's almost the end of the week, and you have to achieve to keep what? Growing. All right. See you later.